Hello, YouTube chat. Allegedly. Hello, Gale. Hello, Corrupted. Hello, Caper. Al Copers, how we doing? I simply adapted the cope. You know what I'm saying? I took my cope and I put it somewhere else. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Outbox. Hello, Natsumi Schwartz. Hello, Section, Western Llama. Lonio, hello. I gotta say, chat. That's, that 1 week period where there's no episode to talk about takes fucking forever, man. That takes ages, man. Watching Asa and playing Dokkan, is there a better combo out there? The better combo is having $1 billion and the other one is having $1 billion. I have no idea what I'm gonna do when ReZero finishes airing. Bro, I don't know what I'm gonna do during the core break. 11 weeks, man? Sheesh. How far are we from the point of no return with Al? Like 13 episodes. So we have time. The next possible slot is episode 7. Hello, chat. Anyone else think that Al guy gives off strange vibes this episode? I can't lie, chat. I woke up to the episode leaks. No Al. I was like, fuck. There was about like 15 minutes where I was like, it's over. And then instead I was like, episode 7 instead. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Could they insert some sort of Al conversation next episode? There are some questions that are very hard for me to answer. Because there are a lot of answers that I have that I'm not allowed to say. In this specific instance, this is one of them. Well, it's probably not that big. There's no Al reveal in episode 4 either. It's not there. I haven't read Arc 7 and 8. Is ReZero still good during those arcs? Yes. Arc 7 is very good. Arc 8 is good. Hey Al, my isekai buddy, just wait here while we storm City Hall. I got a question. How did you release a video on the episode so fast? Are you Reinhardt or something? Without giving away too much of my secret sauce. My episode videos start the day before the previous episode. So episode 3 came out today. I started the episode 4 video yesterday. Divine protection of summary writing? Yeah, there you go. Wait, how? I read the novel, bro. I already know what's gonna happen. And plus, as I heavily alluded to, I also know the contents of episodes and information that I should not have, so... It's a little bit easier for me than it would be for other people. Pro has a gospel. Yeah, I got the gospel. And it only talks about ReZero episodes. What did everyone in chat think of the episode, though? Did everyone like the episode? Actually, we could do a poll. Fuck it. Why not? Let's do episode rating. 5, 4, 3, 2... Oh, I can't do 1. Wait, okay, I'll just do words. I can only do 4 options. Let's do great, good, meh, ass. There we go. You can't do 5 options, man. Where's the haven't seen it option? I'm confused. Pacing around the Garf part was a bit too fast for me, but other than that, the frenetic paces benefit. I agree. I think the pacing feels a lot worse than, like, if you're a novel reader, I think it feels way worse. I don't think anime onlys are really having this problem, and I don't mean that as in like you should shut the fuck up because you're a novel reader. I mean that, like, it's an interesting dichotomy, right? Because we know all of this narration that's supposed to be there, so when the narration gets skipped, we move on to the next scene and we're like, oh shit, that's crazy. Anime only here feels pretty good. I feel like the pacing is, yeah, so like the anime onlys are like, they love it, man. But the novel readers are like, where are my 3 pages of narration, bro? I partially agree, though. The past few episodes have been, past couple of episodes have been pretty fast. I imagine that things will slow down quite a bit soon. I also wonder how much slower it'll be in Core 2. I give this one somewhere between a meh and good. Bubba, I don't like the way you said that, because you like MHA episodes. So that feels strange. Do you think this episode will lead to a significant increase to the Subaru X serious shipping community? No. All I'm gonna say is we're gonna see some big gains. Bigly, as some would say, for the Subaru and Julia shipping community. Thanks for the cut content vids, man. No problem, dude. One of the volumes is only going to get 3 episodes, so after next episode it'll slow down considerably. Yeah, that's basically what I've been saying. One of the volumes is going to get 3. I had a feeling it was going to be 17 because they rearranged stuff from 17 into 16. So. I'm quite excited for this season now. The way it was framed initially sounded like the first 8 episodes would be Subaru dying, then the next 8 would be the good loop, but I don't think it'll be that. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what anime onlys think going forward. Kino episode, Kino Gorgeous Tiger. True. What did you think as a novel reader? Did you think it was too fast? Or was it just fine? Pretty worried about Al. Major opportunity to reintroduce Miss today. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna end the poll now. 70% said great. Objective then. I don't know what to tell you. There's still one pretty solid opportunity to re-add the Al reveal. And if it's missed then I don't know. I don't know what to say then. But this is the anime only safe space, so we will not be discussing the logistics of the next spot. Do you have any opinion or idea on why the owl stuff is pretty much ignored so far? I really don't have any speculation. I I don't know if somebody said this in like the production or if everyone just like collectively diluted it in the fandom, because I've never seen why people think this. But people say, oh, they didn't know they were gonna get a season 2, so they cut Al. And it's like, first of all, that's fucking stupid. Second of all, if you're not sure you're getting a season 2, but anime like primarily serves as an advertisement for the source material, why not just leave the mysteries in? Third of all, I really don't think that's true, because they were still cutting mystery elements in season 2. Like they cut that Satella does not equal Witch of Envy. But they knew that ReZero was one of the most popular anime properties to ever exist. Also, another thing that's annoying and way more relevant for Arc 5 specifically is Will's wound from Theresia. I think that can come back next episode. I just read next episode stuff yesterday. There's a chance. I don't know if it does or not. But that is an immediately pressing thing, yeah. I think not revealing Al won't be that bad for the story. I'm caught up. You're wrong. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you can be caught up and think that it's not that big of a deal. Next episode better be extended or I will scream and cry and fall to my knees and just get the knee pads ready, bro. In more ways than one. Anyway. Chat. We have to do our weekly ceremony of adding a new thing to the office. Last week we added the globe on top of the microwave. What should we add next? Pride flag. Everyone always says pride flag, and I always agree. Garfield crying? How am I gonna add Garfield crying to the office? Please, bro. Please put a Bubba Sauce bottle by Deku. Garfield sticker, I agree. A chair. There is actually a chair under the dog. It's just not noticeable. Live action Garfield. What? Mimi staff? I don't even know if I can easily get, like, her staff, you know what I mean? I don't know if I can get her staff as, like, a quick little art piece. Hang a chair on the wall. Live, laugh, love frame by the TV. Blue I kind of fuck with blue curtains. Blue where would they even go, though? Maybe over the microwave door? So far I have pride flag, a Garfield sticker, live, laugh, love frame. The pebble that destroyed Subaru's leg. Okay, we'll do blue curtains too. Alright chat, real quick, vote on the new office item. Vote on the new office item, tell me what you guys request. Do you think we'll get a Subaru figurine after this season? No. Sorry, buddy. Sticker heads pulled through. Why are you pushing the sticker when it's got an overwhelming majority on the vote? Gays lose once again. That's fucked up, man. One of these days, we might have to wait till the Arc 6 adaptation to get the pride flag in, man. They don't see the vision. Dude, when I dropped the Arc 6 cut content video and I'm like, and I'm like, they cut this important narration where Subaru was sizing up Julius's stick. Let me see, do I have... I'm looking real quick to make sure I have an easily accessible Garfiel sticker file to put up here. Drastic increase in novel readers. I don't really remember, but Gluttony's appearance was later in the novel. Yeah, it was rearranged from volume 18 to this episode. Garfiel sticker, yippee! Yippee! Alright, let me get it out real quick, hang on. I know I have this somewhere. Question is, how long will I look before I just do the simple way? Welcome back, Sensei. How did it feel to get timed out again? Okay, export it. Dude, Jordan getting timed out again is crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna stop it though. You know what, dude? It's so crazy. I'm like, unless there's a way I just don't understand how, there is no way to undo a timeout on YouTube chat. Like, if someone gets timed out, the thread of prophecy has been severed. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Whereas the guy that's usually on the stream, he's waiting his turn like a good boy, okay? He'll be here soon. Let's go ahead and slap this on the back of the computer, huh? Boom. Like a good boy is wild, he knows. He knows what's good. To those that don't know, this is a real sticker, by the way, that we have in the description. That was made by Caper. Where's Jordan? Call me on Discord right now. I tire of your trifles. Hello, Jordan.
Alright, first things first, can we like boom this Bubba guy?
He just timed you out again. You didn't even say anything.
I cannot breathe in this chat every time this man is in the stream. Bubba, I know what you are, man. Alright? You cannot fool me.
That's crazy.
You are not safe. I swear to God. Oh, hello, buddy.
Hey, man. Going, man. I'm chilling, man. I woke up bright and early to make the episode video as usual.
You're faster than me with these weeklies, man. It's actually crazy. You're faster than me, and I thought I was pretty fast with Yozakura, but holy shite, man, you're fast.
How long does it take you?
Dude, it took me, let's see, it would take me at least to like about 4 to 5 p.m., honestly.
4 to 5 p.m.?
Yeah, that's probably because I can't start beforehand because, you know, they had rearrangements, and I didn't know what they were going to change out, you know what I mean? Sometimes I would have to, like, completely start my script back over because they would just change stuff all over the place. So that was
Oh,
fun.
I see, I
But
see, I see.
yeah. Hello chat. Good to see you guys. Episode 3. Oh, the setup episode, basically, in a nutshell.
It had
Good
Aldebron, so
episode.
it was good.
True. I was very surprised to see him upon Subaru waking up. But this was a good episode, though. I have a lot of interesting thoughts, especially towards the end of the episode and the beginning. Good notes, of course, in the middle with Garfield and all that good stuff. But starting with the beginning, my first note that I have for this episode is connection through the factors and pedalgeese in parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see here. I think one of the things I was looking forward to seeing, of course, was whether or not the other archbishops would eventually react to Subaru having a factor himself, right? Because Ikenda's T essentially strengthened his resistance, I believe. And then he was able to use it, once back in season 2. And now they are both aware of the fact that he also has a witch factor. Of course, I'm sure, Beatrice already knew and all that good stuff. And I found it very interesting that there is a specific reaction from Sirius this week. And this connects to my point number 2, because God, dude, you play coy so well.
Huh?
Last week, I was sitting here you were telling me how there's a theory about whether or not she is Amelia's mom. But now I'm really questioning now. Is that Amelia's mom for real? You know what I mean? Like the way she would say how, what did she say specifically? She was saying not only did she first off, she mentioned Pedalgeese's name. But then she was saying how like he would do ABC when I would like eat, and he would give me attention or certain things way back when.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if this is not okay, I'm just curious. You guys technically don't know her real identity yet, do you? Right?
You referring to Sirius?
Yes.
No, we don't know anything.
Okay, dude, this plot line's gonna piss me off because I feel like it leans so much towards being her mom. You know what I mean? It really, really does lean towards being her mom. I mean, like just the coincidences of appearance aside, this context is very, very reminiscent of what would resemble her mom way back when. But I feel like Tepe is definitely gonna throw a wrench in that theory and just be like, oh yeah, she's actually, and it might be some twisted conclusion. But I really feel like that may be her mom right now. I don't know. It's probably a misdirection. Definitely a misdirection.
I mean, from my point of view, is like if it is a misdirection, then like, who could it be? To like the fact that we kept her identity a secret matter.
Yeah. And I sat there and I was like, really? Like, is this really the avenue we're going down? Is it really that crystal clear? You know what I mean? But I doubt it. I doubt it. It could be. You know what I mean? Maybe Tepe's just like, throwing us a bone for once. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys already have, 101 mysteries to solve right now. But
see, look,
it's really
Bubba coming in with the new ideas. It's Subaru's mom. It's a stupid idea, but it's a new one, which is what.
Can we time him out? Can we time him out? Just for the one time. Is that possible?
I'm afraid of what happens if I click put user in timeout. I don't know how he sets times. He knows more about the mod tools than I do, dude, because he uses them so often. Bubba was timed out by Caper for 300 seconds. There he goes.
Oh, let's go. Thank you, Caper. Thank you. I appreciate you, Caper. Big W.
That's crazy. What the fuck?
Sirius is actually Fortuna's secret twin sister. Yeah, man, look, I don't know, man. I genuinely don't know. I just feel like it's leaning towards the being Amelia's mom really heavily right now. Because I mean, don't be surprised. Like, I'm gonna go around and of course, look at a couple of anime only reactions, similar to me, and just see what the reactors are saying. But I'm very much on the side that they'll lean towards that line of thought too. It just comes off very cleanly with the anime.
Seconds.
But we'll see. You know what I mean? Because I expect more context to be revealed when they start getting into the main encounters. But I'll get back towards the end. Point number 3, Regulus is nasty. So first off, I really like how this dude is drawn this season. Like, I really like, dude, it's maybe it's just because I just rewatched season 2, and I really have come to understand like just how much character design can improve. But Regulus is drawn really nicely. I really like how his calm demeanor is just really like appealing when he's on screen.
Mhm.
And I'm really curious to see how they animate him when he kind of gets pissed off. You know, will we get any character, model animation with that or anything like that? I'm curious. But with that being said, dude is nasty. And
I feel like if Sirius is any indicator, then they're gonna have a fucking blast, right? Because
yeah,
they've been popping off a series the whole time through character animation, and even in an episode that wasn't really that, it wasn't that flashy. There wasn't really that much to flash this episode, but Sirius was still doing her thing. She was still fucking tweaking.
Yeah, still tweaking. They gave her a nice little, animation moment of like her chains and whatnot. It was. She's been a really good first impression so far, and so I hope that they follow through with Regulus, especially when he seems to be the main antag for Subaru, at least. And well, I mean, there's multiple, you know what I mean. But in terms of like direct personal confrontation regarding Amelia, he seems to be the one that's got the most coming to him in the future. And this also actually leads into my theory. So, okay, before I say this, chat, please don't confirm or deny anything. Just, play it off, be cool.
Chat, throw tomatoes at him. No matter what he says, post the tomato emoji over and over again, okay?
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. Honestly, better safe than sorry. But I have a feeling that the ending has given off a good foreshadowing of what's to come. I think Reinhardt is going to be somebody that helps fight Regulus with Subaru, okay? And this is now my thought process is pretty much the ED very much is a very creative ED in terms of like how they kind of animate the bishops kind of doing their own thing throughout the city, right? However, it just so happens that right towards the end of the ED, they so happen to put Reinhardt in this similar scene where they seem to be pulling up on Regulus, right? And obviously, my first train of thought, like, okay, I've been watching the ED like over and over and over all week. Because one, it's a banger, but two, they could have put anybody else there. You know what I mean? And another thing that catches me off guard too is that in the immediate scene with Subaru kind of like lowering his hand and putting his left hand on his whip or his right hand on his whip, there's no Beatrice in there either, right? Now, granted, of course, she appears right after when the group shot's coming up, but she's not immediately there either. And after this episode, I have a feeling that Reinhardt is going to be one of the people to contribute to that fight. I feel like last week's pretty much emphasized the fact that even though he could fight Sirius in a separate area, now that we know that the situation is pretty much being directed towards these 4 towers, which I'll get to later, I think that him fighting in proxy of anybody is bad. So he's definitely not going to fight Sirius 100% because I doubt he would go alone. I feel like everybody's going to be going in pairs for the most part. And just, there's a chance that even if somebody else is resistant to her authority, there's a chance that, something could get caught off guard. Somebody could get caught off guard, anything could go wrong. So I feel like Tepe is not one to try to spin the narrative again with rematches. With somebody that is OP, I feel like he's going to move him in a different area. And one thing Tepe has done quite well is, like, with Subaru, for example, Subaru is still technically, in terms of power scaling, he's still pretty weak, right? But putting Betty with him has pretty much, as a pair, the scaling has gone up for him a little bit. You know what I mean? So I do think that Reinhardt will be the one to assist him towards the end. That's my only basis right now, though. I've got nothing else besides the ED.
So your theory is that one of the matchups for this arc will be Reinhardt and Subaru versus Regulus.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that'll be episode 7, maybe leaning into 8 as well, depending on what content. But we'll see. Okay.
What did you think
I'm gonna leave it there.
What did you think of, because you were talking about how the scaling is different when Subaru's with Betty. What did you think of their first original spell, EMM?
So that was also pretty cool. I think an evade, it's essentially a evasion spell, or pretty much allowing them to pretty much kind of close the gap if they need to,
Mhm.
of distance wise, or dodge an attack with low risk. You know what I mean? Of course, like you mentioned in your video, the immediate use of
Oh, you
the
watched it?
unforeseen hint. Yeah, I watched it
Oh
right
shit.
before this just to make sure. I didn't miss anything because because I did want to mention something later on with Garfield's arc as well.
Mhm.
It's a pretty cool spell. Pretty cool spell. I think that this is something that Subaru could have used, obviously back in season 2, of course. But it's a cool spell. Nothing's crazy strong. I don't know what they've come up with offensively. He said one of the three. I think you said one of the 3 new spells they've come up
Yeah,
with.
yeah, it's more explicit in the novels. He mentions that they made 3 spells, and they were about to use a second one, but that does not happen in the anime. He just like takes like a little fighting stance, and then Sirius is all over the place.
Okay. So we've got 2 more. So I imagine that there's a offensive one, maybe 2 offensive ones, or maybe a defensive one. Maybe like a reflection spell. I don't know, but that was cool. I did enjoy seeing that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I
I thought
thought that was a good showcase
when I
of
first watched
growth.
the episode, I was like, "Oh, Jordan's gonna love this, dude." He's always talking about the Betty Subaru combo, and now they're gonna be busting out
Dude,
original spells, dude.
I love it, man. I honestly can't wait to see how hard can they go when it's like prime time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wonder if there's like a sequence where it's like, can they use that spell back to back to back to like really just avoid tags over and over again? I don't know. It's interesting
but
to think about
now,
how. Yeah,
but now, Betty's out.
yeah. And I'm gonna get to that too because I have a
Okay.
really interesting thought process going to that. But yeah, so Regulus, Subaru's injury as well. Very interesting because that dude is. I mean, yeah. What else can I say, man? Stopped on the ground, leg got busted up, left a whole plaza of people pretty much crippled. So shout out. I think obviously the MVP this week is Betty for saving all those people and Subaru.
She the
It
goat.
goes to show she dude MVP by far. She's definitely avoided the worst case scenario without looping again. And she definitely came through. But of course, like you said, she's out. But I'm gonna pause here and we're gonna move to Garfield's arc,
Mhm.
maybe huge, in parentheses, Mimi Goat. So so this arc with Garfield is shaping up to be what I expected it to be in a very good way.
Mhm.
I felt like season 2 was him confronting the past. Now it's about him essentially kind of not being bound by it. I want to say that's what it's going for. With
Mhm.
him kind of accepting the fact that his mother has lost his memory, or lost her memory. I'm sorry, not him memory. Jesus. The mom has lost their memory, and there's no way that I don't think Garfield will be selfish enough to try to reinsert himself into this equation to make up for missing time. You know what I mean? Him and Federica they've grown up and they are their own people now. Of course, I'm sure I am curious to see if Garfield will tell her after this arc, or will he kind of leave it as, we'll never find her type deal. I'm sure he probably will, just to let her know that, she is alive and she's well and what the real situation is. And I'm sure she'll kind of bear that burden with him too. Again, oh my god, her name. I always freaking mess up her name. Assassin lady.
Elsa.
Uh yeah, Elsa. There, I knew it started with E. Dang it. Elsa. I'm enjoying this continuous haunting, like you mentioned in the episode. Originally, she was supposed to be, or as you mentioned in the video, she was originally supposed to be in the house originally in the episode, but
Yeah.
then they re-added new scenes right after. Cool. You know what I mean? I get it.
Mhm.
Probably cut down on some like maybe inner monologue and just how much time they were in the house for the sake of episode runtime. I really enjoy it. I think it's a cool theory to see whether or not if she was affected by gluttony, right, and have her memories taken, or if she just
Yeah.
genuinely suffered amnesia. If the gluttony theory was true, then there's even a more bigger stake for that person's
Yeah.
defeat. We've got one for Crush, we've got one for Garfield, and
Yeah.
essentially his sister as well.
Gluttony
And
may
we've
be
got
just
one.
fucking all kinds of people up, man.
Dude, it's interesting too because I have to remember that while gluttony does kill people, he at the heart it's about fulfilling his hunger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that comes at the cost of people's memories to essentially feed that. You know what I mean? Killing people doesn't necessarily feed that. It's more so about what he can
Mhm.
devour in terms of his
Mhm.
authority. So You know, it does check out if that was a cool theory. Also, another point, getting the most of the setting. Dude, that background this episode with Mimi and Garfield on the rooftop was beautiful,
Yeah.
man. It was really pretty, and I'm glad that they're really kind of getting the most out of the setting, both in the ED, both in the anime. I'm curious to see how what the setting of the city will be like once once this core is over. I really hope that it leans towards more the trailer with kind of smoke in the air, foggy, dark area. I really hope it gets to
More
that
shit
point.
really
I think
kicks
that would
up.
be, yeah. I really hope that it's kind of leans into that. You know what I mean? I think that'd be really cool. Good moment from Mimi this week as well. You know, it's cute little notion about how like they fell for Garfield. You know, I think it's cute. You know, it's kind of gives me the same feeling of like how Beatrice kind of fell for Subaru, but like it's much more narratively in tone with what is going on. You know what I mean? So I like that. Good moment from Garfield. Good moment from Mimi this week. Good use of the setting. I saw on Twitter. I can't remember his user right now, but he has a Regulus Avi
Jarek.
on Twitter. Yes, and he posted the original light novel context. And people in his comments were like, "You're being ungrateful." You know, I need people to calm down first off. But I see that it's very much a beautiful moment. How it was written for sure. In comparison, not bad in the anime. I get it. You know what I mean? Episode runtime is a thing. We know how it goes. But the original context is also very beautiful. It kind of gives off a more poetic vibe with the whole tiger mentions.
Yeah. I mean, I understand people's frustration with it, but it's one of those things where it would take a massive level of creativity to be able to implement every piece of narration.
Yeah.
Or like Jarek puts it, ReZero's prose.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would do it. I guess I'm not a director, so maybe I should know how to do it. But I don't know how to do it. I wouldn't know how to do it. I think they're working with what they have. But, if you're disappointed by it, I think that's fair.
Yeah, for sure. I think in order to really pull it off, honestly, I mean, you're just always looking at the fact that some episodes just would need more time. You know what I mean? To really get that fleshed out context and really dive deep into those things. I really feel like you would just need more time, no matter what. Because like I said, it comes off as poetry. And I don't know, obviously it can come off as either like inner monologue or like kind of like a third person view. I don't know. Like you say, it really is interesting because I would have to really sit down and really try to understand how it's being said. Because I understand what's being said, right? Courageous tiger and all that good stuff. But how is it being said? You know what I mean? Is it being said from Garfield's view? Is it getting said from another person's view in that scene? And how would they go about depicting that? Because technically there may not be the right answer in that scene. It really comes down to how the vision will come out. But good scene. I enjoyed seeing Garfield break down. Again, I'm really fan of strong characters kind of having this vulnerability, and I think his arc will be very triumphant this season as well, and I'm looking forward to that, especially with bringing the kids home. I think it'll be a good way for him to depart from Watergate upon the conclusion of the season when they go on the offensive. Sensei, what do you think about Capella's speech? So that's actually my next point on this list. Capella, Archbishop of Lust. So first things first, once again, I will say that considering that she is the Lust Archbishop, W character design changes, because good God, I have seen enough on Twitter. I did not know ReZero community has goons like that, man. I have seen some insane posts about the preview shot of her. And
look, man, ReZero community has been showing its ass the past few days, alright?
Oof, don't we know,
man.
Don't we know? But of course Gluttony is here too, and he's with Otto. And I'm curious to see who Otto will regroup with. I assume that it may be with Subaru and Krush very soon, given the trailer. But Capella, she sounds like she's going to be very fun. I think I saw one of the animators tweet out that in the OP they were given permission to make her look more bratty. Which matches up with
I know exactly
the
what
voice.
you're talking about. Yeah, that was a fun thing to read.
Yeah. I forgot who it was. I gotta go back and read their name. But that was cool. I think she's gonna be very fun. Banter, just shit talking in general. I think she'll be fun. I think she'll definitely be one of the fun antagonists to deal with this season. Um, and yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say about her yet. You know, they didn't show much of her.
Too early, yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely, but you can definitely understand that the situation is under their, they've got the momentum right now, right? And that leads us to know Beatrice, with Subaru waking up in the infirmary, essentially.
Yeah.
With Al, you know, Al found them, good guy Al, and Felix giving them a
No, it's not, fellas. Don't let Crunchyroll gaslight you.
oh my god, yeah, I was like, why? Okay, I know it wasn't crazy. I was like, why did they change it? You know what I mean? Like, what?
Don't let Crunchyroll gaslight you.
Can we talk about how they also said like waifu? You know, at first I was willing to let it slide because he was like isekai, but I was like,
that's big discourse right now because, well, there's a majority of people saying it doesn't really fit, and there's some people saying it can fit.
However, you know, I thought it would work at first because he's isekai and like, you know, Japan, you know what I mean? But I'm like, do we really want to go down this route? You know what I mean? Like, the last thing you want is ReZero community getting into it about localizers and all that good stuff, man. It's gonna get nasty.
Our main like translator, his name's Ice. He basically went, it doesn't really make any sense. Like he understands how they came to that conclusion, but it's not accurate.
Yeah, I think I actually saw that tweet on my timeline from them before I had hopped in here. That he based it's just an entirely different translation, which is kind of unfortunate. I kind of wish they. I mean, like I said, it doesn't bother me per se, but I understand why people just would really appreciate some consistency. You know what I mean? Like, you know, don't change it where it needs to. Did I just get timed out again? Oh my god. Yeah, so Beatrice is out though, and this is going to be an interesting part to really consider now, because I don't think Subaru has enough mana on his own to replace or replenish everything off her. Yeah. So I'm wondering, there are two avenues this goes down. Does Reinhardt pull up and give her an MP pick-me-up, essentially, since he can bend the laws of mana to his will, and, you know, because I sincerely doubt that everybody else would contribute their mana just to wake up Beatrice, right? It doesn't technically benefit everybody else in the situation.
Well, they also can't.
Okay, because the contract, right?
Because the contract, right? Also, quick aside, sorry to interrupt. I don't know if anyone is watching this who is doing this. When I, in the video, ask, what do you guys think about X or Y? That does not mean go into the comments and post the real answer, okay? This is a question for anime onlys. Please fucking stop doing this. I just had to delete, I've had to delete 3 comments now that are like, I know exactly what Regulus is authority. I don't give a shit, dude. It's not for you, bro. Anyway.
No, I literally I made sure not to go too deep because I felt like that was gonna happen. I still can't guess his authority right now. Like, I genuinely can't guess it. It seems like it's an invisible wall, you know what I mean? But like, I know it's much more nuance to his character, so I still can't guess it. So thank God I will not go back and look. But I am curious to see how this goes for Subaru now, because Beatrice might take some serious time to recover. And even in the trailer shot when he was fighting with Krush, Beatrice wasn't there. You know what I mean? So it's evident that she won't be here for episodes 4 and 5, probably maybe 6 and 7. She'll wake back up, but I'm curious to see how Subaru can do on his own.
Yeah. Which is tough because so far they're 2 for 2 for removing Subaru doing things on his own. Yeah,
pretty much.
They removed the scene of him fucking knocking Sirius out of the tower last episode. In this episode, they're removing Subaru like trying to attack archbishops for some reason.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, sure, he wrapped the whip around Regulus's neck, which I thought was kind of cool. You know, wasn't gonna do much, but kind of cool. You know, good aim. Good aim. But I hope that they allow him to have his moment. That's just not in the finale, if possible. But I don't see it now, especially with Beatrice gone. You know, I don't know how much. You know, I don't know if he has like an ability that like focuses magic into like the tip of his whip, and he can like actually do damage with his whip like that. You know, I think that would be cool if that was an application, because I'm sure the weapon itself doesn't do crazy damage, realistically. Just knowing how these people's defenses are cracked. But I am curious to see where we go from here with Subaru into battle. He is injured, but I know he's not gonna stay still, obviously.
You know how he is.
And yeah, you know how he is, man. One thing he will not do is sit down somewhere for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He's gonna move. And with that being said, the last two major points of this episode that really got me in, like, I leaned forward a little bit. The battle strategy and the battle of the four towers is one point. So obviously the archbishops now have the four control towers of the floodgates, or they control the water in the city.
Yeah.
And I really think that's a cool way to spin things rather than just an outright battle of attrition. It's pretty much going to be a battle of making your way to the tower and then dealing with those one by one in the tower. The stakes are high, even though Wilhelm had admitted that the people are not panicking, the panic levels are low, and that the city is essentially built around these types of countermeasures. They're going to try to avoid the worst case scenario, you know what I mean? And I think this is a really cool way to set up how everybody needs to approach the situation. I am curious to know, where the hell is Priscilla? She's like just chilling in the city.
She's watching
the
TikTok,
city, you know
bro.
what I mean? I was surprised to not see her in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like they were gonna definitely need her. Al's there, but I guess that kind of contributes to how she's kind of just doing her own thing in the city. For all I know, she may stick with our artist this season. Little one.
Yeah.
May stick with her, protect her.
Someone asks, here's my question: if the archbishops can take over the water tower so easily, then why didn't they do it sooner? Is it in their gospel? That's the implication, yeah. When the bell tower rings, Regulus and Sirius are both like, okay, well, free time's over, I'm gonna go do what I'm supposed to do now, and then they take the control towers.
Yeah. That's right. I'm curious to see how that shapes up, because that adds some interesting stakes to the situation. And most importantly, though, the biggest lore drop, of course, of the episode, the real capture. So my theory was that because of Capella's little OP shot with the giant dragon, that maybe they were going to use like the city to capture the dragon and like get it, to drown or something like that under all the water or something like that. Little did I know, we have some witches' remains under the city. Holy shit, that's massive. Why is everything important in such vital locations? Can they do something and get these places to like underground strongholds? Because wow. I mean, of course, this city is large, but wow, that is a heck of a lore drop. I'm wondering whose is it? Because Ikenda's was in the sanctuaries, you know what I mean? That's where she was laid to rest. Yeah. Whose is this that requires 4 archbishops to come by? You know what I mean? That's really interesting to see who would it be, because I feel like if anything, right, if it was like one, I mean, okay, I don't know, it's interesting because I don't necessarily see these witches on like the greatest terms with each other, right? Sure, like Regulus and Gluttony might be like, yeah, you're all right, you know what I mean? But Regulus and Sirius clearly don't mess with each other like that, and I have no idea what Capella's relationship will be with either of them or any of them either. But for them to all 4 of them to join forces, now granted, of course, joining forces may have just simply been in the gospel and that requires some form of cooperation. Sure, I get it. But then again, who is under there that all 4 of their gospels would send them in the same location? That's pretty insane. Because if had not everybody be in the same location, they would definitely get those bones. You know what I mean? Whoever it may be. So I'm really excited to learn who may be down there. I hope we do learn who's down there to see the significance of this person either being brought back or the remains being harvested or not. You know what I mean? I think that's very important, and I hope they don't cut that out the anime if that's that's something that is on the board.
I can tell you it's not. I can tell you it's not cut out of the anime.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Thank God. But yeah, man. Other than that, good setup episode. I think that from this point on, it's just gonna be uphill from here in terms of the situation being full throttle ahead. The setup is done. We've got our established parameters. We've got our established who needs to do what, essentially. We know who's gonna be working with food for the most part based off the mix of the trailer and the OP. Of course, some of the OP could be misleading a little bit, all that good stuff. But going on from 4 in here, I expect the rest of the season to be pretty action heavy. I don't know how. I don't know the extent of the damage I should expect from Watergate. I want to imagine that potentially they may not all succeed in securing the towers. I feel like, just seeing how destroyed the city is, at the end of the day, some of them might fail, to reach secure the water towers. I don't know. Again, I don't know scaling. I don't know how strong Capella is. I don't know how strong Gluttony is in comparison to some of these other people. I don't know. But then again, though, I also don't know how strong Priscilla is. I don't know how strong Al is. I don't know how strong Anastasia is and all that good stuff. So, it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah. A lot of uncharted territory.
We go from here. Yeah, a lot of uncharted territory. Episode 4 going on from here. It's pretty much going to be all hands on deck. And I expect my expectations next week, buddy. I'm setting them.
4 is, from what we've heard, possibly the first priority episode of the season. So I'm very interested to see what their idea of priority is, and we can use that going forward to judge like how the rest of the season is probably going to go. Because like the past 3 episodes have not been priority. And I think episode 2 for not being priority was pretty fucking good, man.
Yeah, it sure was. It really was. I think that next week I'll definitely be. I think I'm gonna hoard the staff list next week for sure. I'm gonna save that to a spreadsheet and kind of space stuff out so I can kind of get a viewpoint. Because depending on our episode directors, storyboarders, and KAs going forward, I think we'll definitely be able to kind of start the gauge. Of course, we still don't know who may decide to reappear / appear on the anime going forward. If our main guy who Mr. Uncredited, you know what I mean? We don't know if he'll come back around for round 2. You know what I mean? We don't know who else may be eyeing.
I guess you never know, but I imagine if you go uncredited, you're not fucking coming back. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, on the low, I feel like that may be, that may be it. But he, that individual is very good at animation effects in general too.
Yes.
So if anything comes from either Regulus or most importantly, of course, Sirius in terms of effects, that'll be interesting to see. I'm excited for what priority means. To put it simply and to not overhype it. Of course, putting in reasonable expectations. Priority, you can pretty much try and translate priority to an idea of focus, right? There's an emphasis on people wanting to make sure the visions for the episodes, the storyboards for the episodes are realized to their fullest, right? When people hear priority episodes, that typically means that like everybody's cuts pretty much is able to be realized to its fullest extent. And things come out real smooth. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of maybe, notable facial expressions, notable backgrounds, notable action sequences, notable movements, stuff like that. You know what I mean? A lot of movement in general, depending on the anime. For some other romance series, it might be, for example, more like strong art and detail on the actual character model. But yeah, priority episodes for ReZero this season is going to be kind of an interesting experiment to see because ReZero, ReZero isn't the craziest heavy action show, you know what I mean? But this season is putting a spin on that narrative for the one time, for at least right now. And it's going to be interesting because, again, a lot has changed, in 4 years. From when ReZero's, season 2 has came out, or 3.5, 4 years, give or take, you know what I mean? And it's going to be good to see what White Fox's philosophy is for this season in terms of priority. You know what I mean?
Somebody else has I said which episodes are priority exactly? No, and I imagine he's not really allowed to. And when I say allowed, it's because when you have connections like that, if you talk about shit you're not supposed to talk about, it's a quick way to not have connections anymore. So
yeah. That's how
we will probably know what episode is a priority episode before, right before it airs. If I had to guess.
Yeah, most likely. So if we find out the staff list, the day beforehand or a couple of days beforehand too, that's how you'll be able to really find out too.
If it's anything like the other 2 episodes, The leaks for the next episode come out on Friday. So we'll probably have a staff list on Friday.
Oh, interesting. Okay, wow, that's kind of early. Wow.
I don't even know if
Very
Ice is
cool.
called episode 4 priority, but it's kind of like the worst kept secret at this point. Yeah, I feel like everyone kind of knows 4 is priority at this point. I'm sure Ice knows what other ones, or maybe not all of them, but I'm sure he knows some priority, but he's not gonna say because he would fuck himself over.
Yeah, got to keep wraps on that one, unfortunately, because ReZero community, last thing we want is a ReZero community to kind of like overblow stuff or set their expectations too high, and then
which is already happening, by the way, with the speech episode. See, people are like, novel readers are already pissed enough about the gorgeous tiger stuff. You guys think the same thing's not happening with the speech, where you guys are all mad and all the anime onlys are like clapping their feet? The same thing's gonna happen. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know how long this supposed speech is, or what the context of it may be. I don't know if it'll be extended to maybe give it a little bit more time to flesh out. But somebody asked, "What would you predict to be the priority episodes, Mr. Man?"
I'm not allowed to answer this question. Sorry, man. I'm not allowed to answer this question.
I get it. He knows. He's a knower, chat. He's a knower, but he is not a giver. Also, Jordan, you should ask someone to get you the staff list because the post that Ice uses for that also spoils the plot of the episode.
I send them to him.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does send them to me, and I usually go start digging for a good 30 minutes on storyboarders and everything, and KAs and everything. Like a lot of the stuff, for example, with Amelia's episode, a good amount of the KAs were people who worked on some of Sengoku Yoko's best. So I kind of had a feeling that something was going to move quite well, and it was Amelia's Ice Brand arts, for example, in that episode. You know what I mean? So
yeah, dude, some of the best, some of the
will
craziest cuts from that episode were by 2 guys.
Yeah, that's already a good indication too. Being pretty much duo key animation, or solo key animation is already it's a great thing because that people are able to kind of confidently get their stuff done, confidently get their stuff cleaned up.
Yeah, the staff lists are so small right now,
which is a very very strong sign right off the bat. Yeah. Amelia's main cut episode was done by Hamill.
Yeah. And there was one really going by Sir Sketchy, I think his name is.
Yes, I believe that is him. Yeah, and Hamill was on Sengoku Yoko's Core 1's best. Because I was like, oh, I recognize this right off the bat, and yeah. He's doing this thing. Yeah, Hamill did the main one when she first started going at it. She did the final one when she summoned her sword and went at it with the kid when she summoned the kid's sister. And then let's see here. Actually, I think it was. Wait, Hamill did majority of the cuts this episode. Wait, I didn't clock this.
Yeah.
He even did the one in the OP with Amelia running.
Yeah,
God,
dude.
he's an Amelia fan.
He's working his ass off, man.
Oh, dude, this guy's like the Bakugo equivalent of Jason Yao. You know what I mean?
I thought it was crazy that so many people are gooning for Capella on Twitter. Then I realized that's basically what I do for Albron. Yeah, man, that's fine though.
Dude, I saw the first Aldebron simp too the other day on my timeline. I was like, man, you guys they're coming out in full force, man.
We're down horrendous, bro.
Yeah.
When would you predict the Al cut content to be adapted? Either never or episode 7.
I see. Episode 7. Oh boy, that's gonna be a heck of
a
a big break. Or. Oh man, that Owl OVA is gonna hit like crack, dude. When it finally,
it's not coming, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. What the day Tepe makes his existence so important that they can't ignore it. The Owl OVA is dropping, man.
What if they put it in break time? A lot of people are gonna lose a lot of Zor bucks in my server. Okay, not me though, because I bet against Owl being added, so I'm gonna win big.
Oh man!
For those that are in the Discord, we made a new bet, by the way. For novel readers, anime onlys can't look. There's a new bet in the ReZero spoilers chat in the pinned. If you think that will happen, if that'll be adapted, I'm genuinely starting to think the reveal might be delayed to season 4. Then it sucks. I don't have to tell you, man.
Yeah, that will be rough, man.
It's now or never, man.
Like what like season, like are we talking season 4, like arc 6 season 4, or like season 4 as in like this season
Arc
4
7,
too?
man.
Oh, arc 7. Oh god. Oh,
It's like
oh, that's
4
right. Arc
years from now,
6
bro.
counts. Arc 6 counts as season 3 still. I forget.
Yeah,
I forget.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Oh god. Oh god, it'll be way too long.
A lot
Oh
of people
man.
keep, I don't know why, but a lot of people keep posting, but what if they split season 4 into, or arc 6 into season 4? They're not doing that. They're not gonna do
Yeah, they fully have committed to a large
Yeah.
episode count of practically 3 cores split among multiple instances of time.
that. When's this week's break time coming out? Like 6 hours ago. It was mid, by the way.
Yeah, I think it was like Garfield and Mimi
Garfield and Mimi, yeah.
Adventures. Yeah. Little dynamic duo
Which-
going on here.
I think break time being mid is fine. Because it could just be character stuff and they can have fun. It's okay. I don't need them to
Yeah.
drop earth-shattering lore revelations in break time.
Yeah, that honestly will be a huge L if they put it in break time.
Yeah.
Because for one, you're basically talking about how the biggest like anime reactors for ReZero will never know.
Yeah.
Somebody will have to like scream it down their editor's throat, and the editor will have to like go and edit it back in to let them know. And like that's very rare. Like I've only seen very few reactor channels have editors that like go above and beyond. You know what I mean? And in that context, it would be very, very unfortunate to have cut from the anime and never know.
Yeah. Someone says, I just want English subs on break time. This is not much of consolation, but there is someone in my Discord who posts subs for break time in the anime channel every week.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's your subs, bro.
It's not ideal, but you know, what else the fuck are you gonna do, so.
The next mention of Flugel will be coming in break time. Oh god.
No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We're coping.
We can only hope, man. We can only hope.
When's the next Shonen and Chill? We recorded it a week ago, so I don't know.
Ah, that's right. Good old Shonen and Chill.
Yeah. Someone asks what reactors you watch.
Your boy Orochi, Blind Wave, Struck by Bells are the main ones I watch for ReZero so far. Or I just watch in general, really. But I know Roshi watches ReZero. I need to see who else is like. I need to probably branch out and see who else watches ReZero and actually pays attention. 'Cause that's the most important thing. I can watch certain reactors and kind of like vibe if they mix stuff, but I feel like a lot of them probably do not pay attention at large, or they just like really get narrow-minded perspectives and just stuff just like hits a brick wall with these reactors sometimes.
I don't watch reactors, unfortunately.
I get it, man. I get it.
I actually don't watch that much YouTube at all.
Bro, just use the platform. He's out.
Pretty much, man. The only reaction I need is Jordan's in my DMs, bro.
Dude, I can't wait, bro. That speech episode probably gonna have me tweaking out like a schizo.
Yeah, I'll have to be reading everyone in Discord like falling to their knees about the adaptation and saying they're gonna blow their brains out, and then I'll open up our DMs. You'll be like, that was peak.
That was peak. Great, dude. Better than Choose Me, dude. Better than Choose Me. I'm waiting on it, man. Nearly.
Like I've gotten like 4 wall of text comments on this week's video about how shit this episode was from a novel reader's perspective. Not to discredit them, because you know they can feel that way. It's fine, but
yeah, dude, I feel like it's just so hard for light novels to win, no matter what.
I feel like I have already hit the point where I've adjusted my expectations, knowing that this is an anime adaptation of a light novel.
Yeah.
And like they're not gonna add all the fucking narration, man. They can't do it.
Yeah, you just can't do it. Like I think people need to understand that in order for a light novel adaptation to really get like the treatment that they believe they should get, they cannot approach light novel adaptations the way they approach manga adaptations. It's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. You know what I mean? And like, and I say it when I say that, I mean like they can't run on like the typical runtime. They would genuinely have to like do some innovative things that like manga adaptations do. You know what I mean? It just can't happen. Because you know, light novels, it's more text if anything, of course, but it doesn't change the fact that they still have to abide by episode runtime. They still have to cut down on certain things to make it flow as if it was coming from the manga. You know, it just can't happen, man. It just can't happen.
And like I said, I accept this, man. Like, I think there are still things that'll piss me off every now and again, but like cutting Subaru knocking Sirius out of the tower, man. That's just sad. That's just
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah, it is unfortunate because I would have never thought about that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I thought, what I
Yeah.
see is what I see. You know what I mean?
What Frosty points out every week. This is the only time I go to the RA anime subreddit because the place sucks. Every week I go look at the ReZero threads, and they're like, "This episode was fucking great. I'm gooning. I'm straight gooning. There's goop on the monitor, bro." And then like you go to the novel communities, and they're all standing on the stool about to kick it out from under them and fucking kill themselves, man.
Yeah, I imagine that is the serious difference within the community. Genuinely, I mean, I saw it in what's his name again? Regulus Avi.
Jarek, yeah.
Jarek. I saw it in Jarek's comment section. People were like, the pacing was too fast, the Garfield scene, and all this other stuff, and I was like, I get it, but it's just there's no ultimate victory here for these adaptations. Unfortunately, it's just there's too much text, man. There's just too much text, and at the end of the day, these production communities, even if they were to give it their like most sincere commitment to the anime, it still isn't enough. You know what I mean? 30 something episodes for ReZero is already insane enough to me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That is insane.
You have to accept that. Well, for most people, some people have no joy or whimsy, but when you read something, your mind palace does so much work, bro. Because you don't have to animate it, like physically.
Yep.
So like, it's always gonna be better in your little mind palace. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
You have to accept that it's a different medium and that there will be different expectations. Not to say that you can't still be disappointed by it, but
yeah,
like I will never forgive them for cutting Al. I'll never forgive it.
Yeah, like they said, yeah, that's like a very like genuine gripe to have for the long term, no doubt. Book were the idea that the book were better is not unique to ReZero. It's not even unique to anime. Yeah, it really isn't. It really isn't. They're different mediums. Yeah.
The
Which
books
is
were
why
better.
Yeah.
The books were better, but the anime's still good.
Yeah. Just from a presentational standpoint, like it really does stand pretty solid.
So far, season 3 looks exactly like how I imagined it. Is my mind palace defective? No, your mind palace is linked to Masahiro Shinohara's mind palace as well. You guys have a joint connection.
Man's gonna wake up and be like, guys, episode 5 is peak. I saw it in my dream.
I saw it through his mind.
I saw it through his mind. They are in that studio drawing. There is flames on the paper.
It's like
on the pads.
I love the books, man. I love the novel. I think it does a great job. And then I temper my expectations for the anime because it is not my mind palace. They are limited by human ambition. They are limited by them literally having time to draw. They are limited by things that cannot be conveyed through certain mediums.
Plus, not to mention, if you really think about it too, if people want inner monologue, all the text to be written out, I get that, but I don't think people take into consideration the fact that these animators would be so bored if they had to just draw a character's mouth moving the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, you have to keep animators motivated. It's why certain series are ambitious with what they do. You know what I mean? You will not attract talented people if all they had to do was sit and animate a conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying as well. Like, a lot of novel readers feel like this is all going so fast. It's because there's no narration that you already know happens.
Yeah.
And then, if they were to adapt that, you would be saying that it's slow, probably. Because it would be. Because you would be looking at Subaru sitting there, and he'd be, like, thinking, I should kill myself, like, for, like, 15 minutes straight. And it would be gas. It would be gas, because it's the thing I like being adapted.
But, and the last thing we need is ReZero ending up how, like, people started viewing the slime reincarnated anime, because they had a political season, and they were just, everybody was saying how it was so boring, the entire time, but that stuff is like the nitty gritty, you know what I mean? And they were really getting into it.
I didn't get past episode 3 of season 1, bro. That shit was fucking so boring.
Yeah, I ended up dropping it too. Rare dropping moment for me. Rare drop. But yeah, it's just one of those things, man. I feel like just light novel fans, for all the big light novel series, Don Machi, this one, Classroom of the Elite especially, And even even Mushoko, just accept the fact that stuff is going to be cut. It's just how it is, man. They can't do it.
Ozzy says, I actually think this episode did Gorgeous Tiger so well despite not covering all the inner monologue narration thoughts. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you go into it expecting that shit to be gone, you'll probably maybe at least enjoy it a little bit more than the average novel reader.
Yeah.
They tried, because the title of the stream is based off of some of the narration reading a little poem of like the Tiger, where did you go? And they kind of implemented that with some of the Elsa ghost dialogue. It just wasn't to the... It wasn't to the extent that obviously the novel took it to. But like they tried to put it in there a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know it's hard to just, it's hard to just shove all that in there, man. It felt like it would have ran on a lot more. Like, I felt like if you would have put all that monologue in, you probably wouldn't have ended the episode on Garfield going to, the Garfield declaring that he was going to go save the kids. It would have ended on the meeting and just cut that last little portion out. You know what I mean? There's trade-offs to this thing.
Oh my god. Stop commenting the fucking correct answers, dude. On the fucking video, please. I know you guys want to flex so bad that you read the fucking novels. Jesus Christ.
I'm not going back to that comment section, bro.
Dude, I've deleted like 6 comments during the stream.
Dude, one thing light novel fans cannot do is just be
Shut
silent.
the fuck up, dude. It should be so clear that this is an anime-only video. Because everyone should know by now that I'm 9 arcs deep, bro. I know the answers.
Man, you might have to put that in your weekly update. Guys, listen, before I do the weekly update, let me just say.
Dude, shut up.
For the love of God, on Wednesdays, please shut up.
They always do this, man. They always do this. It's ReZero fans. Don't shut the fuck up about anything, man.
I'm gonna make sure to be careful.
If they don't cover all of Subaru's thoughts in Arc 6, it should just be, artistically unique and use the visual medium to its benefits, just like the written word is used well in the LN version. Yeah. Yeah, there's some way, because obviously I don't want to get too much in Arc 6, but, like, it's a very monologue and narration heavy arc, inner monologue and narration heavy arc. So they're gonna have to figure something out. What that is, I don't know. That's up to them, because, I'm not the fucking director. There's gonna have to be some way they convey this information, whether they find a way to do it through the visual medium like Ozzy said, or if they decide to take the Shibuya route and add a narrator for the arc.
That would be very interesting to see who would actually animate ReZero.
Yeah.
Or not animate, Jesus, narrate ReZero. Why did I say animate? God. Who would narrate ReZero? You know what I mean? From a third person perspective, that's like somewhat relevant. Or I guess you don't really need somebody relevant because Shibuya had, just an old lady that was iconic for narration, of course, but it would be cool.
The way Tape's prose kind of works is that it's like it's narration, but it's also like it's biased narration from the character that we're currently seeing through. You know what I mean? So like it's kind of taking a third person approach, but it's also very clearly influenced by who we're focusing on.
Right.
So like in Arc 6, Subaru's like thinking things, and then the narration will impugn him for thinking these things. And it's obviously from his perspective while still being from a third person perspective.
It's kind of unique actually. Nice little
I don't know the term of it, and 2 people posted 2 different terms, so I don't know. I don't know which one it is.
Third person subjective, third person limited. Oh, limited? Okay, all right. Third person limited. There we go. There we go, guy.
I'll incorporate this into my belief system without confirming.
Oh man. Yeah, man. Episode 4. I need it. I'm waiting to see what they'll bring next week. Who's fighting who first? How are they doing this?
Gotta wait a whole week,
I imagine that they just really start dumping stuff. Some of the soldiers of the cults, and we still got a dragon to deal with. I wonder who. Man, there's just so much so much to think about, man. I wonder if Subaru and somebody else will go for the communications tower at some point too, because that's where. Well, no, I take that back. Because there's 4 watchtowers, to control the city. So Capella just used the radio tower, and then just moved to the water tower next. So I guess that's empty. So he could easily go there after everything is done. So I'm curious to see who the matchups are and what the plan of attack is too. I'm excited to see Felt fight too. It's been a long time, and she's always a fast one in season 1.
I know she's one of ReZero's only good cuts for the longest time.
Yeah, she did, huh? That one cut where she was coming around to hit Elsa. Oof, man.
That was
Good times, man.
8 years ago.
It's crazy to think that, like, from Felt to, I guess, technically Garfield versus Elsa, like the time is taken.
I know you mentioned earlier that ReZero's never really been about the fights, and that is true. The reason why a lot of novel readers are paying such close attention to what they do here in Arc 5 is because that's not going to be the case anymore.
Right. Oh, going forward for the series?
Forever, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
interesting.
There's a close eye being kept to determine how fucked we are.
Wow. Okay. That's actually very interesting, because now I'm actually curious how much conflict do we get in from here? You know what I mean? Like, who else are we dealing with here outside of just these main archbishops that we've been introduced to so far? How many more are out there? Are there any more witches that may be out there that I just don't know about by chance either? You know what I mean? That'd be But I guess killing an archbishop, I mean, like I said, I don't expect all these archbishops to be killed this season. I expect 1 to 2 at most, but I expect one of them to not be Gluttony. Of course, Gluttony will survive this season. He will probably retreat, if anything, if things get too hasty.
Do you assume Gluttony is just like a long-term antagonist?
Yes, I think Gluttony is pretty much going to be one of the most, like, what's the word I'm looking for? He's going to be one of the most satisfying kills in the series, but they won't give him this. They will not give you all the satisfaction just yet, especially when I still to this day haven't heard a single thing about Rim that lets me know that she's still asleep. That lets me know that he's still alive. Or at least, I want to assume he's alive, or either something, maybe he's dead, but like the effects of his authority are still in effect, and maybe he's like giving his authority to somebody else as a contingency. I don't know. I don't know.
Can we ask Jordan's thoughts on Capella's name? Do you remember her full name?
Let me go back. Hold on. Have the episode still pulled up?
I could just tell you it.
Yeah. Well, what's the full name? It was kind of long.
Capella Amarata Lagunica.
Lagunica. Okay. Is there like a what? Okay, Lagunica sounds kind of like. Oh my god! What? It sounds like something that would like involve like the ocean, because like lagoon. But I'm sure it may have something. I don't know what.
Do you know what Lagunica is, bro?
Wait. Should I know?
To my oomph with ADHD, focus, dude. Lagunica is the country, bro.
Oh. Wait, why is she? Oh god! Don't tell me she has actually family ties. Like she's got like big ties like that.
I mean, her name's Lagunica, bro.
Nah. There's no way.
Capella is named after a country, just like you, Jordan.
Okay. Listen, guys. I admit I forget some details. Okay, I forget some details. I'm so
Good thing
locked in on Watergate.
here.
I'm sorry, chat. I deserve it. All right, it's my weekly ass beating. I'm sorry, chat. I forgot. I would not make that connection. Beating. This is my weekly ass beating. I apologize, chat. God, I was so close to making it through without an ass beating too. So close.
I didn't touch on it in the video because there's gonna be more to say about it next week. So.
Okay. Like I would just never clock that immediately. You know what I mean? It was so long, and like I was just so focused on like how much things are like happening so fast. I was like, oh man.
I mean, no, there's a lot to talk about in this episode. Do you like my parallelism? I know you're an MHA fan, so you probably liked it, between Super and Regulus.
I did. I
Yeah.
did enjoy how you mentioned how, he's a good foil for him in this arc.
Yeah.
And why it shapes up to be like that, especially looking at just how there's history there. Even it it kind of like feels like a rematch through time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Betelgeuse too, and now that Subaru's inherited the witch factor too, it's just, or the saw factor. It feels kind of poetic in that sense. Like it's like a twisted rematch through time. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
Subaru had to kill Betelgeuse, but the original intentions were to stop Regulus at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I am wondering too if Regulus will die this season too. To really kind of send that plot line of Betelgeuse to rest.
Mm.
At least with Regulus's connection. I don't know about Sirius. Because she now has an agenda to come for Subaru. But it seems like she's more. It's interesting. It seems like she's more focused on what could be the witch factor itself instead of Subaru himself.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
It's like, well, because Betelgeuse's whole thing was that he took over the bodies of his fingers, and I think that she's seeing that now and being like, oh shit, another finger, right?
Right.
So where's he at?
Right,
Where's he at? You know?
And this is where this is the person who he's at now. Yeah. Okay.
Have we already
Yeah,
talked about
that
Sirius's
makes-
ramblings? No, not really. Although I noticed this when I was writing the script for the episode 3 video earlier this week. I was like, this kind of feels like Rem, but like more extreme. That was something I couldn't shake. I talked to somebody named Shadow about it briefly. He's the guy who runs the wiki. I was like, doesn't it feel like that she's kind of fucking deranged like Rem a little bit?
Oh, definitely.
So like there's definitely like a little, I guess a little parallel between, Sirius and Betelgeuse and Subaru and Rem. And then you also have Regulus coming in now with Amelia and all that. There's a lot of interesting connections with the archbishops and Subaru's close relationships, it seems like.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how. Man, there's just so much to like really theorize about, like how deep does Subaru's connection get going forward now with the archbishops, knowing that now that they know that there's somebody with the witch factor, and maybe they don't care. You know what I mean? Maybe they don't. You know what I mean? I am just curious to know, like, how, like, does this? Oh man, there's just so much to think about too. Because I wonder. At the end of the day, I also really wonder how this season will this season backfire on Amelia's camp in the end too. Because there can be the argument made that they came for the witch bones, but also they came for Amelia too, and in that Amelia attracted them to the city on top of, it's kind of like, granted, of course, I think her acquisition by Regulus is more of a acquisition by proxy, if anything.
Yeah.
On Regulus's
He was
own
just
agenda.
in the neighborhood,
Yeah, just shopping for his 79th wife, just JJ chilling,
Yeah.
But it could still be a point to make in terms of,
Yeah,
Amelia's
and like,
presence.
ultimately, like, when the populace is already so slanted against her because she's a half-elf, they're gonna view things in a much more skewed light when it comes to her.
Yeah.
So, like, you could say, like, oh, well, I mean, her getting taken by a Sid Archbishop doesn't really mean that they were there for her, but they already hate her, so they're gonna interpret it as, that was part of the reason why they were there.
Yeah. Now, granted, of course, the entire city doesn't know that she's there at the same time. That could also be a factor too, because I'm pretty sure. I assume that the people may know of. Actually, I don't know. Maybe the people don't know what's actually in the city. Let's go under the assumption that the people themselves don't know what's in the city, right? Because that makes them all targets essentially, right? If people were to start getting interrogated about what they know about the location of the bones, that could be dangerous. So we can go under the assumption that the people don't know that there's witches' bones under the city, but we can also go under the assumption that they don't know Amelia is there, or the bunch of the royal candidates are there. You know what I mean? I feel like if they did know, we probably would have run into a couple of instances of people either being kind of rude, maybe perhaps. I don't know, but I am curious to see if there is a blowback towards the end of the season. But then again, though, I'm still counting on Otto to kind of have his moment where he kind of negotiates with Anastasia or kind of settles things if Anastasia tries to come for some, reparations for quote unquote attracting the witches, if that comes to pass. It all really depends on how the city turns out first, because I feel like that is going to force Anastasia to kind of really deal her hand with, dealing with the damage. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate you guys helping out, GG's or whatever. But my
GG's.
fucking house is destroyed. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
gotta lock in. You know what I mean? And she's very much she's a businesswoman. So I wonder how that may, come back to play in the arc.
I guess to cap off the anime only section of this stream,
Yeah.
has this episode changed your expectations for how the rest of the arc will go majorly?
It changed it a decent amount now that I know where we're headed and what the stakes are. It's definitely added some heavy stakes. We've got 3 layers of stakes now. Emilia is a stake, the city infrastructure is a stake, and the real capture of the witch's bones is all a stake. But we still don't know how it'll play out. I still need to see how these battles will play out, the outplays, if any more stakes will be at hand. The result of this battle, and then what this so-called speech entails, because I think that will really kind of round off the sentiment of what we gained and what we lost heading into core 2. So, yeah.
Does Jordan have a prediction for death count?
I think Subaru will not die anymore this arc. I think Subaru may live. I feel like killing Subaru at this point will chalk momentum in terms of these battles. You know what I mean? Because I feel like how many times can you repeat the same encounter over and over and over again and spice it up? You know what I mean? Like, people are gonna throw the same moves. They're gonna end up repeating similar, if not the same dialogue. It's different when Subaru dies in the preparation phase, right? Because when season 2, right, sometimes he would go and try to appeal to Garfield. Other times it was appeal to Roswell or report to Roswell. Other times it was the Sanctuary test. Other times it was Otto, right? But this is different. This is, there's no prep here. And I feel like dying just really kind of chalks the momentum that is going to be happening about throughout this arc. You know what I mean? Everybody's spread out. And I also feel like, well, I said this before, but because there is no prep, you know what I mean? There may be permanent consequences with these characters now. Somebody may die across the entire city. And if Subaru ends up getting a victory with either Sirius or Regulus in the end, right? But somebody dies, he has to bear that burden and not take his life because it's not worth it. You know what I mean? No matter the checkpoint, it's just not worth it, man. He's got to be willing to weigh the weight of life on the outcome of this battle. And I feel like that is something I would really appreciate if Tappei does do this season, is pretty much make him kind of hesitate on going back just to save a life. You know, consequences will be consequences, and he can't win it all even by himself. And I think it'll be a cool callback to Ikenda's whole thing about, you know, even if she were to have guided him to the best possible solution, not everybody will be safe. And at least that if nobody is going to always if everybody can't make it out all the time, then at least let it be by his own terms rather than Ikenda being the one steering the ship. So I think that'll be a great moment for his arc to really bear witness and emphasize that moment in season 2 where he says, you know, I know hell. That would be really hard to emphasize. But yeah, chat. Episode 4, I will be back. I'll have a lot more information to share as well regarding the staff.
Yeah, and next week we'll officially be at the halfway point of Core 1, man, already.
Yeah, and that is also why I assume that it's about to just go up from here. What would Jordan assume the consequences of this arc to be for Subaru plus crew? Okay, so I do not think Emilia will be rescued this half. I think it'll be second half. I think that the entire city will hopefully be destroyed, which will benefit more so towards Anastasia having some motos post this arc. I think we will have a bishop dying, but I also think we will have some permanent consequences with our main characters. I don't know who it'll be. I don't know if it'll be Reinhardt. I don't know if it'll be, I doubt it'll be Reinhardt. I don't know if it'll be, you know, somebody from Crucius Camp, for example. I think they're more susceptible to receive injuries. You know what I mean? Out of the Cruise Camp, if anything. I feel like Garfield and Mimi will be okay. Maybe Garfield too. Maybe it's possible. I I don't know about, and I still expect a royal candidate to potentially take the knee this season. I expect between either Anastasia or Anastasia. I'm gonna be real. I think it'll be Anastasia, if anything. I feel like Priscilla, after that OP cut, she's got that dog in her. So I gotta respect Priscilla.
I can't believe Jordan is siding with the Archbishop terrorists and praying that Priscilla gets destroyed.
Listen, I'm not saying she will get destroyed, but she better be
Guys.
careful, man. You know, I need to see what she can do. You know, that OP cut
No,
was
the
cool
city,
and all,
the city, bro.
Oh yeah, that too.
The city of Priscilla, bro. You want it to fall. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Hey, man, listen. Watergate, man. You know, I really want Watergate to kind of, I really want Watergate to kind of match that vibe it gave in the OP, man. I just feel like
Jordan's gone woke, dude.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, chat for my Naruto fans. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me like back when Pain destroyed the entire Hidden Leaf Village, man. You felt like some shit went down, man. Like, you knew some shit went down when Pain destroyed the entire Hidden Leaf Village. I need that, bro. I need people to like be on their last legs, man. I need these fights to get desperate. I need these efforts to be intense, man. I need people bleeding. I need some hard voice acting. You know what I mean? I need some hard fought victories. But I don't want it to be an easy victory, especially knowing that there's, you know, you got 4 archbishops in one area, man. I need it, man. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, delete that comment, bro. That's crazy.
Holy shit.
That's crazy. Yo. Come on, man. Oh my god.
That's crazy. Priscilla is being destroyed by the woke mind virus. We need your help, Jordan. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Listen. I you know, we'll see, man. We'll see. You know, these bishops aren't here to mess around, man, and I don't know if they can, you know, fight all of them, especially when they apparently an army's gonna be here too soon. You know what I mean? Like, how much, you know, like, like, what if Sirius just decides to do a giant inferno that's like city level AOE and just destroys everything? You know, like, it ain't looking good, Chief. You know, I don't know anybody who can contain that except for Beatrice in her pocket dimension that she put the rabbits in, but she's kind of taking a nap right now, you know?
All right. You got any closing words, Mr. Yozakura Sensei, who sided with terrorism?
Appreciate you having me, guys. I'll be here next week. And Rizio Goat. Have a good day, guys.
True.
All right, man. I'll holler at you, man.
All right, man.
All right, see you guys later.
Bye,
chat.
Jordan. What a fucking lunatic, man. He was cooking, man. He had some pretty accurate fucking predictions, man, as I'll say. Because we're still in the anime only safe space. To answer your question, we added the Garfield sticker to the back of the laptop. That's what we added to the office. Now we are going to be removing the anime only safe space. I will be giving the anime onlys time to evacuate. Sorry, I hiccuped for some reason. Goodbye, anime onlys. If only you could read. Things would be different. Things would be so different. Here we go. Boom! Novel spoilers inbound. You're not safe. Jordan was... He really thinks we're leaving the city at the start of next core? He does not know. He does not know. He'll find out soon, though. That we're here to stay. Random comment, I don't like the color of Sirius's flames. If you look at the illustration of Sirius when Regulus gets invisible providence, they're actually kind of always that color. But I'm pretty sure they're that color specifically to contrast with the flames in the Priscilla fight. The way I leaned forward when he said no deaths. What were Jordan's predictions? He said no deaths. He said 1, maybe 2 archbishops will die. Fuck, what else did he say? Oh, he's very confident that one royal candidate will eat shit and die. And he's very confident that it'll be Anastasia. And he does think that... He got this from the ending, so... I'm not really surprised, but... He does think that Reinhardt and Subaru will team up against Regulus. And that the city will get destroyed? Yeah, that... You can infer that, though. There was a bunch of promotional material about it being fucking destroyed. I'm wondering if Jordan will be disappointed that nobody really dies this arc on the good guy side. But I was wondering if he would adjust his expectation because he always thought that someone was going to die. I was wondering if he would adjust his expectation when he saw Gluttony was here too. Because though nobody dies, Julius, you know, he gets got, unfortunately. Krush does eat shit. True. True. Jordan also did say something about somebody from the Krush camp getting fucked up. Little did he know it's just going to be Krush again. Also the plethora of lust and gluttony victims. Yeah, but we also have to realize that a plethora of unnamed victims is not as impactful as a named character getting their ass beat. Did he say anything about Felt? No. I mean, if he somehow predicted that Felt would get taken hostage, I would just call him a novel reader, so... See, I can tell that everything that Jordan says is truthful, his true honest beliefs, because that motherfucker's not reading. Do you think Watanabe could have directed the episode better? I don't know. I don't know anything about the episode director. Oh, yippee! Twitter popped up telling me that blocking is changing soon. And everyone you block will be able to see everything you tweet. Thank you, Twitter. I appreciate it. Didn't you try to get him to read forever? Yes, I did. I did. Lagunica equals Lagoon killed me. Him not remembering. It's such an anime-only thing to not remember Lagunica, though. I can't be surprised, I guess. I feel like there's so many anime-onlys that would not remember Lagunica. Am I the only one excited about the Reed name drop? Yeah, probably. It was there, I guess. I don't really care that much. Lagunica equal Lagoon is an Aussie core thing. That's funny. Felt Dragon soon, guys, don't worry. Episode 4, man, that should be a fucking banger. I have taken many notes for episode 4 already. I will not recite them because it includes information that I'm not supposed to talk about. But it's gonna be a banger, man. It's gonna be crazy to be already halfway through the core. I really do think what's gonna happen in episode 4? The City Hall attack is gonna happen. I feel like people really need to shut the fuck up about the speech, man. If you learned the owl cut would be re-added, would you tell us? No. I would not be able to. I would be going against my code of ethics. Jordan already knows about the speech because people won't stop talking about it, like, all over the place. Would you change your bet? No comment. What scene do you think they'll add owl content in episode 7? If they're gonna add the owl reveal in episode 7, it'll be when Al is trying to convince Subaru not to make the speech. Because there's a specific analogy that Subaru uses that gets across only to Al because he knows Al is isekai'd. Because they're in the building with multiple people, and Subaru looks specifically to Al and he says, I wouldn't stop, like, if I saw a kid crossing on a red light, I would not stop and, like, think about it. I would just save him. I would pull him back without hesitation. Now, of course, they could just cut it. Hot take, I'm more excited for Core 1 because seeing all the minor characters regroup with Subaru as the leader was my favorite part of Arc 5. That's valid. Also, and me speculating about them adding, because I know I keep alluding to the fact that I know more than I should know. I don't know anything about the speech episode, so is genuine speculation. I just know that given the pacing of what we have so far, it's probably going to be episode 7. It may sound like cope, but I think they're at least paying attention somewhat to Al's stuff because they had Al, you know, tickle his little helmet when they mentioned Capella's name. He was like, And next episode, we might get the Typhon stuff, and then the line about gluttony. Al suddenly backing out of going to City Hall, despite how he seemed gung-ho about it. And then, a few episodes after that, we're gonna have the conversation mirror. I thought they would finish with the speech. I'm pretty sure they're gonna stop on the wedding crash. When Subaru and Reinhard bust into the wedding hall. What if Core 1 ends on Reinhard dying? Then our pacing is fucked. We are in big, big trouble. I was thinking maybe they could throw in the reveal before the Al split. Or Al splits with them. No, they're not doing it. I wonder if the Sphinx mention will remain. Dude, I feel like it has to. Because, like... Not irrelevant. You know, you know what I mean, man? Like, why is Jordan's death still there? Sorry, he's getting spoilers. This is how he makes good predictions. I leave him in for like 15-20 minutes and I give him all the spoilers then. And then I kick him out. not irrelevant, but they're willing to cut foreshadowing. I'm just hoping that... I don't know if this is public, so I don't know if I should say it, so never mind. It seems like they're paying more attention than how much they've usually been paying attention. Why this motherfucker Jordan sounded like he knew basically all that was gonna happen. Dude, anime only predicting no more deaths is crazy. He sat his ass down and paid attention to Arc 4, bro. This is copium, but do you think Sirius commenting about Betelgeuse being alive inside Subaru could kick off the Shadow Garden content? That's a good question. I don't know. It's not looking good. I think there's a bigger chance because this next Shadow Garden scene will have Betelgeuse and Regulus. Ice mentioned it too, how they're making sure to include small... Okay, it is public information. Okay. Then yes, that was my reasoning for it. I couldn't remember if I heard that from somewhere else or if he tweeted that. But yeah, I've also been told that they're paying attention to plot-relevant details much closer than usual. White Fox's face when they've cut every Shadow Garden scene and then suddenly it's extraordinarily relevant in Arc 11 or some shit. Yeah, Ozzy, there's been 3 break times, they're just mid. Which is fine. I'm okay with them being mid. I would rather them be mid than have, like, crucial plot details. Tape writing towards the conclusion. Writing towards Arc 12, and then looking at the anime and seeing everything they've cut and being like, how the fuck do we fix this? You guys just like the first one because Rem was in it, okay? It's fine. Just admit it. Do they include break time with, like, Blu-ray discs? Or, like, are those only online? He didn't mention Al in his tweets again. I know, Garkar fucking DM'd me and he said, no, Al tweet again. I was like, there's no way, man. There's literally no way. This is 2 episodes that Al is in, where the only person that fucking Top 8 does not tweet about is Al. Ozzy, if you're here, leave. Just gonna warn you now. I'm about to talk about Arc 9, chat. I'm airing the place out before I say it, though. I think there was a top A Q&A where he said Echidna wouldn't find Al all that interesting. That is hilarious. I'm gonna talk about Arc 9 and we're gonna wrap it up. I cannot tell you how many times I've read the final 3 chapters of Phase 1, dude. That shit That's goon material, bro. I have so many notes taken down about Al, about all kinds of shit for a second Al video. I've also started lightly outlining a Priscilla video because I think that'd be fun. I'll probably get to it like during the core break. Any like substantial analysis videos will probably happen between the core breaks. Dude, my Al section is so thick. There's only... Okay. There's a few things that I don't know how quite yet to interpret Al. And I think that has some meaning because I think I'm the CEO of Aldebron, okay, no matter what anyone else says. My first question is, where was he isekai'd to? The obvious assumption is Valikia because that's, you know, where he was, but we don't know that for sure. And we don't know if that's actually going to be like a relevant thing. Second, what did he do between arriving and finding Echidna? Which plays into the third one because he says that he lost his arm shortly after being isekai'd. But in that side story with Echidna, he has both arms. So like, was he found like frame 1? Fourth, what happened between then and him giving up on Geenenhive? I think we can infer that, but we don't actually know. Why did he lose his authority and Subaru didn't? I have a few questions about that. Also, why did he... Annie 28? No, he's like 40. The one line that I cannot place, everything else I can maybe think about and try and extrapolate. I can't figure out why he would say that line about 400 years ago. And it makes me mad that he said that. Tape, you didn't need to do that, bro. Like, because now I'm gonna have like Al equals Subaru or like Al equals Flugel posters in my shit for months. Like, fuck you, man. Why'd you do that? The obvious cope would be that, oh, he's just looped the equivalent of 400 years, but no, I don't think that's probably not the case. Sure would be an exact number. The 400-year stuff is just a troll. Yeah, but like, I feel like he made him say it for a reason. And like, why? Because I have not yet found a way to incorporate into my belief system the way that Al could be from 400 years ago. It just doesn't make sense no matter how you spin it, right? That is indeed a crackpot theory. Echidna told Al about soul transfusion and not Raws in order to troll him. Just like when Volcanica mentioned Patrice, yep. You see, I don't give a fuck if Patrice's from 400 years ago. I don't care. Al, though, I don't know. I don't think he should be from 400 years ago. Obviously, it depends on execution, if he actually is, and he's not, like, just saying... He's not referring to something else, but... If he is from 400 years ago, I don't like that, like, at first. Maybe there'll be more information that would make me change my mind, but my initial reaction is, no, I don't like that. He could be a clone of himself? Why? Why couldn't he just be a 40-year-old man? that's what I don't understand. How did Al control Volcanica? So all the buildup was that. Dude, I can't speak too loud. My girlfriend's on her Arc 9, okay? Listen. All the buildup was that Al was gonna read that Book of the Dead and try and, like, recreate that existence. Because technically it could take over your mind if you're not mentally strong enough and if you're not trying to not get mind taken. But Volcanica doesn't have a fucking mind. He's brain dead. He's got crazy Alzheimer's. He literally just filibustered in the U.S. Senate. So when he read the book, he got mind jacked. This is the Just a Guy allegations we should be fighting, not the Todd Werewolf stuff. How does Al know about RAM? My presumption is that he has done multiple 775s. Multiple long-term resets. I said that in my Al video, and I thought it was too crazy, but after Arc 8, no, I think that's what he's doing. For sure. I think Al has relived so many timelines, it's unbelievable. And in a majority of those timelines, Rem wasn't around. Maybe all. Maybe all of them. I think there was something fundamental to Arc 1. I don't know what it is, by the way. That changed this timeline forever. I don't know what happened. But maybe it was something as simple as Subaru saving Amelia this time, or maybe it was something as simple as saving Rem in Arc 2. Maybe she always is supposed to die there. But the timeline has not been the same, and Al is, like, he does not grasp it anymore. Because I don't think a lot of the things that happened in the past 2 arcs, Al has knowledge of. Clearly. What do you think is the reason Rem wasn't around? She might have just died from the dog bite. Every timeline in Arc 2. So, like, Tape keeps referring to Arc 1 as the most important arc of the story, so I'm inclined to believe Subaru saving Amelia in Arc 1 this time is what permanently changed the timeline. Maybe every time she dies in that loot house. Because I think if everything... Well, clearly, Al hates Subaru for some reason. I think very clearly things are different in this one because Al was willing to listen to Subaru's ranting and raving about heroic reveries, even though he was so against it in Arc 5. But this time, things were going in a direction where he was willing to listen, so he said, okay, I will carry heroic reveries with you. Why would Roswell order Elsa to kill Amelia if Subaru wouldn't save her? That's a good question. Do you think in Al's different timelines Subaru was around but just did not save Amelia? Maybe. But I mean, they're bringing up good points as to why Amelia probably lived. Maybe he was looping before Subaru existed. This was my thought. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my Al video that was my thought. But I think Arc 8 debunked that. Because of the saying, Natsuki Subaru failed you. It gives me the impression that Subaru was always in the picture. Because before, I was totally on board with the fact that the timeline just fucking sucked. And then Al gave up. And then they were like, well, I guess we'll bring some other guy in. And I thought that was a pretty solid theory, but... I don't know, man. Maybe my first presumption is still correct. Because it's not like Subaru was there in the No Stella No Life side story. It's just Al with both of his arms. I have to bust out the Albron prologue again. Hang on. Is Volcanica an observer? No, I think Volcanica is just a tool of the observers. I think, the observers are the stars. Where is the Aldebaran prologue, chat? Does anyone know where it is on Witch Cult? Or is this just lost to time? End of phase 8. No, I know where it's placed chronologically. It's just not. It's not on the site in that order. Chat, where is my Aldebaran content? Fuck, man. If it's on here, they did not make it easy to find. It's not considered side content, is it? No. DM'd it to you? Thank you. How are we supposed to find this, bro? Guys, do you think that Echidna's love for Aldebaran faded because he turned 18? Sorry. Let's see. Is the search part on the main page? I see. With a gaze that cannot be pinned to neither expectation nor despair, the witch watched over that with determination. By nature, a witch would neither wish for such to succeed, nor would she wish for it to fail, but this was different. Words of consolation she would provide. Before the following star could burn out, its heat becoming no longer able to reach the ground, she would deliver words to save the heart of the following star, acting as his teacher. Your luck was no. Indeed, revising the words she had been about to say, the witch continued. Words most appropriate for that following star. Words that would serve to comfort his fate. Those were, Natsuki Subaru failed you. Like, unless this, like, literally takes place in Al's Mind Palace, I don't know. My impression reading this is that this takes place literally who knows when. But he does say, even if it's beyond the realm of 1,000,000,000, only I can reach it, which he does say also in Arc 9 afterwards. So, like, I don't know, dude, maybe he was schizophrenic? I don't know. Like, this, for this to take place after the end of Arc 8 would mean that Al's Shadow Garden somehow has every witch in it. Because I think that was implied, right? Let me see. Centering a dream that would suddenly fade, regress. Yeah, the other witches are here. And I don't really know why he would have every witch in his mind palace. Am I the only one bothered by how the witch factors are inherited, but also the witches still have them in Echidna's dream palace? Yeah, probably. I mean, it's just like a recreation, right? So. Do you think people will complain about Arc 6 about how they're stuck in a tower for 22 episodes like Arc 4? It's definitely not impossible. ReZero is about to build up a reputation of being the one location story because of Arc 4, 5, 6, and then 7's gonna drop. I don't know, man. I think Phase 2 will help me nail down a lot of my current Albron thoughts. Maybe. But I guess we can call it for now. It was fun. Good stream, guys. Thanks everyone for coming out. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Join the Discord if you haven't. We're normal. We talk about ReZero, all kinds of stuff. You can become a YouTube member, which gives you content early, gives you behind the scenes stuff. You get the emotes. You can post member emotes, and you get the badge and shit. It's cool. You get a color name in the Discord. It's fucking badass. There's the emotes. Pog. You can get the little sticker in the description below. Put it on your water bottle. Thanks everyone for coming out.